Welcome to another session on Java made simple, clear, and short. In this particular session, we are going to discuss how to download Java, install it, configure it, then how to write a simple program, compile, and run it. So the prerequisite for this session is you must have the internet connection or JDK already downloaded, basic familiarity with the computer and simple DOS commands, and of course the passion for programming and bit of courage. Right. Now let's see how to download it. You can just take a browser instance and do a Google search or whatever search, download JDK, or you can just say download Java Standard Edition also. So make sure that you download it from the Oracle site because it's more reliable. Right. Now here you can see the JDK download link. You can just click on that. Here you can see different flavors for different operating systems: Linux, Mac, Windows. Because I am using Windows, I will be downloading this one, Windows 64 installer. It's not a big file, just about 162 megabyte as of now, and the current version is JDK 14. That is when this recording is done. Of course, when you are downloading, it might be a different or higher version. You can just click on that to download it, or the whatever the latest version, but you can download it, right? So you can just download it. Of course, you have to accept the license agreement and click on this. Then it will be downloaded. So I'm not going to download it because I have already downloaded and install it. Once you download it, you can just double click and install it, or you can just right click and say run as the system administrator, right? If you don't have the administrative privilege, right, you can do that. Then it's just like any other software installation. There will be few steps. You can just go next and finish it. Okay, but make sure that in one of the steps it will show you where the JDK is going to be installed. Just copy that path or just write down, because we need that for the next step. Okay, right? So you know that when software is installed, most of the time it will appear under the program files here, right? But when you install JDK or the Java, nothing will come here. Nothing will come here. It will just quietly install to your computer without any fuss here. Okay, so nothing will be here. So don't worry, right? But what you can do is, if you go to that is why I ask you to write down the path or just remember the path. In my case, it has been installed. The JDK has been installed under C program files, Java. So this is the default location, and this is where my JDK has been installed. Now you can see it has two folders: the JDK folder and the JRE folder. The reason is, of course, I installed the JDK. When JDK is installed, as part of the installation, JRE is also going to be installed, right? So I will explain why is that. Basically, when we are developing some Java programs, I need some tools to compile, debug, etc. Those tools are there in the JDK. But once I compile and done with that, I have to run it. So running is done by the Java runtime environment. So the moment I compile it, I need to run it. So that is why when the JDK is installed, JRE is also installed, because it knows that, or the Java knows that you are going to need it. So therefore, both JDK and JRE is installed. Okay. Right. Now we have to do a configuration step. Right. So the next step is configure Java. It's a very simple thing. Now we are going to use some of these command line tools. For example, under JDK bin, there are some exe files like Java exe is there, Java C exe there. So we are going to use those things to do some compilation, running, etc. Right. And of course, we are going to use the command line and the notepad today. Right, we are not going to use any sophisticated IDEs. So because if you are new to Java, we always recommend you to spend some time using command prompt and Java and do things in a very primitive way. It will increase your confidence, right? Because if you know how to do things in a very primitive way, when you are working with high level tools, etc., obviously it's going to be much more easier for you. And but you must have developed that confidence upfront, okay, by working with the primitive tools. Okay, now you can take a command prompt cmd, right? So we are going to use these tools like Java C tools. But the thing is, if you just type Java C here, it is going to say Java C is not recognized. So the reason is, but if I just type something like notepad here and click, the notepad is going to be open, right? So the reason is the operating system knows there is a exe called notepad, but it doesn't know there is exe called Java C, right? So what happens is, when I type something like ABC or something, and enter, it will check whether there is a exe or bat file name ABC in this particular folder, the current folder, in this case C user source. Of course, there is no ABC file there, but if that file is not there, it will then check some folders that you have specified in the path environment variable. So first it will check the current folder. If not, it is going to check the folders that has been specified under path environment variable. In our case, we have not that our entry of the bin folder to the path environment variable. That is why it says Java C or the Java is not recognized. So what we are going to do is, we are going to add this path, the bin folder path, that is where our Java C and Java exes are there. So I just going to copy this path, and I'm going to this PC, right click on it, go to the properties, right click and properties. It will open this window where you have to go to the advanced system settings. Another pop-up will be there. There you have the environment variable button. Click on that. It will open another pop-up. There you can see the path environment variable here under user variables as well as under system variables. Right? If you have access to the system variable, you can add it to the system variable. If not, you can add it to the path, user variable. In my case, I have the system variable access. I will just add it there. So you can just click on that path variable and say edit, right? Edit. Then you will see there are some existing entries are there, right? So anyway, I had that entry, I just deleted before the demonstration. So I just copied the entry, I'm going to add it again. So here you have to say again new, because we are going to add a new entry. It will add a blank entry because I have copied it, right? When I copied from the file explorer, I'm going to just say Control V, paste. So now you can see C program files JDK blah 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 bin folder is added to the path environment variable. So when you are working here, don't mess with these entries, because if you delete or change any of these entries, some of your programs are not going to work. Therefore, just quietly add your entry here and just say okay, 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 and you can just close this. Now the JDK bin folder is added to the path. Whatever the exes or the bat files in that particular folder will be available to the command prompt, right? Now of course this command prompt we took before adding that entry, therefore still if I just type Java C, it is going to say not recognized. So whenever you change your path environment variable, if you have already taken your command prompt, you have to close it and take a fresh command prompt. So that is very very important. Otherwise you are not going to get that Java C available. Now if you type Java C, it's going to recognize it, right? You can see it is giving you the how to use the Java C command, some documentation, right? So now it's done. Again, if you have trouble, that means still if it is saying that the Java C is not recognized, what you can do is you can just type path here, path, then it will show that what are the current entries in the path environment variable. Now in my case, I just added the JDK entry. It must be somewhere here. So let's see, where is that? Here you can see C program files Java JDK bin, right? So you can double check if you are not getting that Java C command recognized. You can double check whether your entry is there, right? Otherwise, either you have misspelled it or you have not entered it properly. Okay, right? So right now in my case, now the Java C is recognized, right? So now I'm going to go into my final step, that is write my Java code, compile and run it. Okay, right? So in my default, I am going to do my coding. So I'm going to create a folder, right? So some people what they do is they do all their coding and everything in the desktop. Don't do that. That is not a good thing. So desktop is to have your shortcut, etc. So have your code in some folder. So I'm going to name it code under D. Right, so I'm going to have my code here. Okay, right. So now I'm going to create a my first Java program. So I'm going to take a notepad again. Right? So this is where I'm going to write my Java code. So I'm going to write my first Java code now. So I'm going to say class hello, or let's say hi, curly bracket. I'm going to close the curly bracket, and I'm going to say public static void main string s capital args curly bracket. You just have to type as it is, right? As it is, right? And also simple capital matters. For example, here class simple, here only here capital S is there so far, because otherwise you are going to get compile errors. Java is a case sensitive language. I'm just going to have a system out printed, print something to the command line. Say system dot out dot println, let's say hello world. So now you don't have to worry anything about what is system, what is public, what is static. You just now our purpose of this session is just quickly write a Java program, compile it, run it. Right. So we will discuss these things in the next session. Right. So these syntax errors, syntax rules, those things we are going to discuss next session. Here our purpose is quickly make our hand dirty with some real world coding. Okay, right? So just do it as it is. Right now I am going to save it, and also simple capital matter. So here everything is simple other than here h capital, here s capital in the string, here in the system s capital. Of course here you can write anything within double quotes, that is something a message. Other than that everything is simple, right? So that is something you have to remember for the time being. So I'm going to save it now. So yes, I'm going to save it in the code folder, decode. Now another thing you have to remember is you have to select here all files. So that's a must, all files. Now you can give it a name. So in my case I'm going to call it, right, I'm going to call it hello.java, right, hello.java. uh, and always when you write a Java program, the extension must be .java, nothing else, .java, and here it has to be all files. And now you can just say save it. Right now always go and see, double check whether your file is saved. Yes, right. Sometimes what happens is if you just pick text file, it will be saved as hello.text.java, right? So in that case you are going to get some compile errors if you don't see the extension. Right, what you have to do is, so those who are not seeing the extension only, they have to do this. Go to the view, right, in the file explorer, then you have the fold options. Go to the view tab again. There you can see there's a checkbox saying hide extension for known file types. If it is ticked, make sure you untick it. In my case it is already unticked. All right, if you don't see the extension, you when you untick it, you are going to see the extension properly, right? And also in the type also you can double check whether it's a Java files, right? If it is text file, you have not saved it properly, right? So type must be Java, extension must be .java, not .java.text, right? So if it is .java.text, you have saved it as a text file. Okay, right, now we are done with that. We have made the class, right? And of course we have saved it. Now what we are going to do is we are going to compile our class, right? So already I have a command prompt, but the thing is the command prompt is still in the C user ASUS. In my case that is my user home. Now I want to move into the folder where I just created the my Java program, right? So I'm just resizing this so that I can see the file also. Right, so now my folder is in the D, therefore first I am going to change to the D drive. So those are some basic DOS commands. So D colon means change to D drive. If your code is in E, you can say E colon. Right, now you can see all of a sudden it's in the D drive. Now my code is not in the D drive, it's in the subfolder called code. So I want to move into the code folder now. So how to do that? We have another DOS command called cd. Cd stands for change directory. Cd and your folder name. In my case, code. Right. Now you can see I am in the code folder, and where my file is there. Of course, you can see the file is there. If you just want to double check, you can just type dir, that is directory. You can see that the hello.java is there, right? So of course you don't have to do that because you know that hi hello is there. Now we are going to compile it. So how to compile it? So there's a java command java c and the file name. So what is the file name? You can see the file name is hello.java. Hello.java. You can just enter it. Right? If there are any errors, it will be shown. Otherwise, no error means you are done. Now you can see a class file has been created called hi.class. So if there are errors, it will be shown. No message means no errors and you are done. Right? Now the class has been created. Right? Now we can just run it. Right? So how to run it? So how to compile Java C file name, how to run it, Java and your class name. Right? So what is my class name? Hi, and it is case sensitive also. Therefore, I have to just type as it is because my class name is hi with H capital. I have to say Java hi. Right? So that is how you run it. Now you can see you get, of course, the I made a mistake. It says hello world. It has to be hello world, right? So anyway, so I'm just going to compile it again because the output is wrong. I'm going to now compile it again. If whenever you do a change to the file source file, you have to change to the, or you have to recompile it, right? So anyway, don't worry, all your previous commands are under your arrow keys in your keyboard, right? So if you click on your press your down arrow and up arrow, you will see the previous command that you have typed, right? In my case, I just want to say java hello java. Again, I am going to compile it, right? Now again it's recompiled. Now I can again run it again. The key commands are there, right? So java, so java keyword and hi my class name, right? So it will, now we can see it properly hello world, right? So that is how you compile and run a Java program. So we didn't go into any complicated things or any details because our purpose for this session is install Java, configure Java, compile, so write a source code, compile it, run it. So we are done. So in the next sessions, we are going to discuss exactly what are the meaning of these lines, etc., semantics, syntax errors. Those things we are going to discuss in a separate session. Okay, so we are done. Thank you.